Hey there! Some have wondered how I did some of my latest videos. They've heard about generative AI or they're just curious. But even in my comments, people have said, how'd you do that? And my family and friends who saw the videos said, wow, how'd you do that? So I'm going to show you. It's not proprietary. I didn't invent it. I'm just using other people's tools. I watched some videos online and wow, here we are. Okay, so I'm going to take you through it. Take you behind the scenes, behind the curtain, seeing the man in the booth. Ignore that man in the booth normally, but right now we'll see how the wizard does it. Hi there. I posted a video recently, and it was one I made from a photograph that I turned into a video. So several people have asked, how in the world to do that? Now, many people know how to do it, so I'm not the only one that knows how to do it. In fact, I watched a video where someone else did it. Like, yeah, let me try that. And it's like that phrase where you teach a friend to fish, you feed him for a day. Well, this is similar. You teach a friend to fish, you feed him for the day. You teach him how to do generative AI, you won't see him for a month. All right, so while you're away doing your own thing for a month after I show you this, keep watching my videos and keep liking and subscribing. All right, so this is one of the... I don't know if you caught that. That's everybody laughing. This picture was taken in 1931. You can just about see it down there in the corner. This is my mother and her sister. My grandmother is back here, and this is my grandfather. And then one little tidbit here, this woman here is married to this guy who is my mother's uncle. All right, this is my mother's uncle. This is his wife. That is Jimmy Stewart's cousin. Jimmy Stewart, yeah, that guy. That's his cousin. Because there's a photograph of her standing with him outside the Stewart hardware shop in Pennsylvania, somewhere. Indiana County, Pennsylvania. So, all right, so how did I do that? So I'll take you through, I'm using 3 products, either Copilot, generative AI, to colorize, because this was originally a black and white picture, and then clean up, so it cleans up some of the scratches and stuff on there, and some of the people. It actually goes a little overboard and makes them look better than they actually were. And then I take them into another tool I have, because I have a subscription with a company called Envato, and they have some generative AI. And it's still in beta, so it's free for a while, so I've been using that. So all my people have wondered where I've been for a month, because I've been playing with that. So I'm going to use those 2 tools. I'll show you how I do that with some other pictures I have that were old-fashioned pictures from the early 1900s. All right, sit back and enjoy. Remember to click like and subscribe, and keep following me. I'll get back to travel videos. I'm taking a rest for a little bit because we have some travel coming up that there'll be lots of content. All right. Okay, on my screen here, just up there, I have 2 AIs up there. On the right, we have Microsoft Copilot, and on the left, we have Gemini, and we're using Gemini's Nano Banana. That's what they call it currently. I'm sure once it goes to production full, and they start charging for it, they might, they'll call it something else. But in the meantime, they call it Nano Banana, which I kind of enjoy, and I'll keep calling it Nano Banana, just to spite them. So I've gone ahead and uploaded 2 pictures, or the same picture, into both of them to see what happens. This is the original picture. That's my mother clowning around with her version of high tech. That's a Brownie camera, I think, at her father's garage. And I told it to, now in AI, when you're doing this thing here, in this box here, whatever you type is called a prompt. So the prompt I used was colorize and clean up. And it did a fairly good job. One thinks that back then they had no color, but I guess they did. We just don't see it because they were using that old brownie to take the picture. But I brought that same picture into Microsoft Copilot here. See, there's the picture. I said colorize and clean up. Now, it's much more vivid, and it also changed the people, because my mother here doesn't look like my mother, and she's actually looking at the camera. And over here, she's looking at her, I think those are her hands. And then, so I don't know which one I want to go with, because I kind of like what this one did other than the face. Oh, let's pick one of them. So I have downloaded them. So to download them, you just click this button and it downloads it. Oh, this one's over here. So let's download those. We're going to bring those into another product. So to see how long this takes, I have a picture of my father and his older brother here back in who knows when, 1915 or something, maybe 1914. So I'm going to tell it the same prompt: colorize and clean up. So we'll see how long this takes. The time does vary quite a bit. So because we're watching it, it's probably not going to boil. So let's look somewhere else, because the watch pot does not boil. Oh, it seems to be coming back. So it first does those three, at least on Copilot, does those three little dots, and then switches to this, and it gradually works its way down the image. While we're doing that, let's go upload that same picture over here. And we'll do the same thing, colorize, clean up. I don't think the order matters. Now you can put as many words in there as you want. Colorize, clean up, add a monkey, or have them swinging back and forth. So we're not doing that at this moment, because the goal here is to turn it into a video. All right, so Gemini came back much faster, and I kind of like that. It didn't go quite as vivid with the colors. And let's see if we can. Now, what's also nice, you can upload more than one picture here, and then it combines them. So while we're still waiting for that. Now, the other product that turns it into a movie. So I have a subscription to Envato. There are other products that do this, but I happen to have a subscription to Envato because I get stock video and music from there, and fonts and stuff like that. So I happen to have this, and they happen to have it in there. So under their Gen I section, there's a video generation, which I got an email the other day. It's free. It's currently free to do this as many times as you want until September 30th. I don't know what happens after that. Imagine they're going to charge for it. But in the meantime, I'm trying to do this as many times as possible. So come along with me. So the same thing here. We can upload an image. Oh, it came back, and I kind of like that color of it. But let's. Oh, did I not download it? I didn't download it. So let's go over here. Download it. Okay. So download, there it is there. Let's download this one over here. All right, so again, it gives us an image. This is to make the video. It gives us an image to start with. So this is the first frame of the video. And what I have done with that video I made was make these ancestors and parents and aunts and uncles who are no longer with me now, so I can't go grab this camera we're talking on and videotape them recording. And for some of them who were around while I've been around, laughter was not something you had to struggle to record. So it's not too much out of the ordinary. But for some of these other people in the pictures, I don't remember them laughing, and stories told that they didn't laugh a lot. So it's fun to make them laugh now. So, all right, so let's do that here. We'll the phrase I used was laughing yeah. So the camera that they're looking at us, but also at each other. So the interaction of the people in the picture seemed to work for me the last time. Now I'm going to generate it. Now this takes a little longer, and it generates the video and audio. I don't know what my father and his brother sounded like when they were that age, but and Vato's gonna take a stab at it, and with kids it did okay with the laughter. For the adults, the laughter was creepy. So we'll see. So we're at 40%. Now, while we're in here, I won't click on any of these, but you can do voice gen, which you can upload any text you want to this box like that, and then it will generate a voice speaking that, and you can choose after it's generated or while it's generating, you can choose the type of voice. They have these different names. I picked one named William. It was a smart-sounding British fellow. Everything sounds better in British, right? All right, so there they are. Now, there's audio. I don't hear it playing for some reason, but trust me, it's probably somewhere between good and creepy. But that's not bad, that's because there's no way I can go back in time so far and record my father and his brother laughing. So that's quite good, right? Now let's do the same thing. You can go back and edit it. Let's download that because I kind of like that. And then we'll go back and come over here and hover. That little X replaces that one. And let's go take the one of my mother. We'll do the one that Gemini created. That's the Copilot one. We'll quick and get the Gemini one. Now the downside of doing this software, both for the colorizing and the cleaning up, is it doesn't make the largest of pictures. So for my purpose, making a video resolution is just fine. And when it generates the video, it tends to fill in the cracks and stuff. So it's not terribly low resolution. So it looks okay when I enlarge it on my video. All right, now what just happened? Now, while it's doing that, with Copilot, it tended to actually provide text also. That was somewhat related to the picture. I could even describe that those are called Mary Jane shoes. I did not know that. And it even talks about the ornate wooden chair. And that offers you new things to do. A tactile keepsake. Huh. Let's just click on that and see what happens. Now, at any time, you can just scroll back up here and see it again. So it's not destructive to click those other suggested. Oh, it's just telling me what to do. So if you have not tried any sort of generative AI, it'll generate pictures, it generates poems, stories, songs, all of which, like these pictures of my ancestors and my parents laughing and stuff, they're gone now, so I don't get to see that anymore, but it's fun to see that again. One could see, if one is more nefarious, how this could be used in a not so good way. So not all generative AIs are alike. Some don't have any guardrails. So they're like people who have no frontal lobe. They'll just do anything and they'll go rogue or start hallucinating or heading down paths that probably shouldn't go down. So the one on the right, Copilot, if I try to involve living people, politicians and stuff, it won't let me do that. It says, sorry, I can't do that. I like that. The one on the left, I don't know. I haven't tried. I haven't pushed those boundaries yet. But it's Google, so they have their own reasons not to be sued by somebody. So be careful which one you pick. There are very similar ones. They all kind of use that whole ChatGPT underlying thing. So they're all going to give you some of the same results. Hey, the picture's back, or the movie is back, of my mother and her aunts. It might be her sister in the middle, and her aunt on the far end. Very good. So that's how I did that, and then I bring them into Adobe Premiere and put music underneath them and stuff. So if you like learning how to do this, learning how I did it at least, click the like and subscribe. If you don't like learning how I did this, then still click the like and subscribe. All right. Thank you.